small scale units are involved in manufacturing, but then the scale of operations is quite less compared to the giants. So they face some difficulties in terms of management, difficult because usually it is being observed that it is the owner or the proprietor who is actually involved in day-to-day activities. So there is as such no person who is designated as CEO or general manager operations who is designated for that particular area of operation only. So the CEO only, or let's say the owner, who is CEO, who is HR manager, who is marketing manager, who is looking after supply chain, everything, since he is the one who is managing. So it is not expected from him that he'll have all the skills present in the beginning. I'm using the word in the beginning. So might be later, as he progresses or as he carries on his business, he may learn those skills, he may train himself in those skills. But then in the beginning it is difficult. So what happens, these small scale units, SSI units, they face few difficulties in terms of how to market, how to opt for particular financial assistance from government, or let's say from SIDBI. So they may not be aware of all these things. So they are facing few difficulties. So we are today, in today's session, now we are going to see what all things they cause failure to the SSI units. So causes we are going to see, and then what all preventive measures can be adopted so that they don't face any failure. So that is what we are going to see in today's session. And then we'll see some turnaround strategies. Now, what those strategies are, we'll see shortly. So, as I said, we are now going to see the causes of failing of these SSI units. So, some causes would be shortage of funds. Guys, just 1 second. So some of the causes which make the SSI units fail are shortage of funds. They are always running out of funds. They don't have enough funds to manage the operations usually. So small business entrepreneurs, they don't have enough long-term or short-term funds. Long-term funds for the as reserves and surpluses, we keep some part of our earning, or let's say some part of the capital which we are investing as for reserves and surpluses. So if at all any unforeseen events which are taking place, all of a sudden, if you have to fulfill any requirement, so you need money to meet those expenses. So we do it usually from the reserves and surpluses. So these small entrepreneurs or small sized or business entrepreneurs, they don't have enough long term or short term funds. They are running out of funds. Therefore these they are always short of both the fixed assets as well as working capital. So they don't have proper investment in terms of fixed assets. Now the plant and machinery, the investment they might have done, but then they may not be having their own setup. So they might have leased it out, the space. They might have uh, taken it on rent. So they always have this fear in their mind, that maybe after 2 years time, as per the contract, maybe after 2 years time or three years time, if the owner tells them to shift, then what will happen? So entire setup they have to move. So that is one such thing. So because they don't have enough assets, the enough funds, they are short. They usually run short of both fixed assets as well as working capital. In the beginning, they somehow manage whatever money they are investing, they are putting into the production, they get the outputs, they sell it, and then that much of money only they are able to generate. We are talking it in the beginning. Even the banks do not come into their help in a big way. Since it's a new venture, the bank officials or the other financial institutions, they may not know the person as such. So they are a little skeptical towards disbursing the loan. If I don't know the person, how will I believe that he is going to repay? So same thing is happening here. Moreover, he may not have the enough proofs which he can submit, which will show that he has the ability to repay the loan. So financial institutions, for example, like ICICI or IFCI, for that matter, IDBI, they usually help only the large scale industries because they have this assurance with them that their money will not be, taken away by these small scale units. So shortage of fund is one such cause of failure of these SSI units. Lack of latest technology. Small businesses lack funds. Yes, we have seen. So latest technology is not used because it is expensive. So they lack funds. That is why they are not going for usage of latest technology. They only rely on the technology which they can afford to. Hmm? So only old methods and techniques. That is why the old methods and techniques are usually being used. Due to this, they learn less margin of profit. If I have, uh, for example, again the same example of computer which we discussed last time as well. If my processor is not up to the mark, if it is not the current 10 generation, 8 generation, like that, if it is not of that generation, then what is happened? The speed of the processor is slowed down. So if the speed is slow down, then it takes time for the things to get open. Same thing happens in case of our smartphones as well. If the memory is not up to the mark, then it takes time for the apps to open. They take space. Then you have to many a times, delete the things and all. So when we upgrade our phone, when we free some of the spaces, or when we upgrade our phone in terms of RAM, so that RAM upgradation of RAM is nothing but using the latest one, the one which is currently in thing. So this is what similarly happens in case of manufacturing units as well. If I have the machines, the updated machines, it will save my time, though I'm putting in cost, but then quality wise it will improve as well as it will save my time. So I can produce more if I have the latest machines with me. If I use older ones, they have this make wear and tear, जहाँ पे उनका maintenance में I am putting lot of money. Moreover, they are not performing also up to the mark. So it is definitely going to hamper my production. So in turn, I earn less margin of profit. Most of the money, the cost of production increases because of the maintenance of these old और क्या बोलते हैं obsolete machines, जो कि पुराने हो गए ऐसे machines की वजह से my cost of production increases, so my margin of profit also decreases. So this is happening because of not using latest technology. And why these people, why these small scale units are not able to use latest technology? Because they run short of cash. So this is how the things are dependent on each other. Shortage of raw material. There is shortage of raw material because less working capital. Again, if you observe, these things are related to lesser funds. If I don't have money to expend on these things, they will not run as they should run. So I have less working capital. So what happens? Less working capital meaning cash in hand. When I have less cash in hand, definitely I'm going to put restrictions on expending the money. So when I have to buy a raw material, particular raw material, what do? I search for credit. But then who will give such raw material on credit in the beginning? No one. So I have to put money from my own pocket and I have to buy that. So when I have lesser money, I'll think twice before buying in, not even in bulk quantities, but is it really required, or we'll first complete this consignment, then we'll think of something. So these things are happening while purchasing the raw material. So if you cannot buy in bulk during the particular season, if you don't buy in bulk and cannot enjoy the economies of large scale, so what happens when I have lesser funds, I cannot bargain with the supplier that I'll give you so much, so you give me so much. The bargaining which happens at vegetable vendors, similarly it happens with suppliers as well. So when I have lesser funds, I cannot buy in bulk. And when I cannot buy in bulk, I have to always pay what is the current market rate. I cannot enjoy that economies of scale which I get because of buying in bulk quantities. You understand? जैसे कि in our households also during this summer season we usually uh, uh, keep keep things as in rice and pulses. We buy it in bulk quantity so that the entire year's care is being taken care of. So entire year's whatever demand you have, household demand you have, accordingly we buy it in bulk quantities and we keep. So if the families which don't do this, they have to usually buy the same stuff at increased market rate. So this simply happens because of shortage of funds, because of not investing appropriately in raw material. So this is also one such cause of not having enough funds. Then we have power shortage. So this power shortage also makes SSI unit fail. How? Because of shortage of power, the small business enterprises are not able to use the full capacity of the plant at their disposal. When there is frequent power cutoff or when we have this load shedding schedule. So what happens during load shedding when power is not there, you simply have to stop your production. So 8 hours ke shift mein if you see that 2 hours are wasted because of this क्या बोलते हैं उसको this power failure or this particular time every day you have this designated 2 hours when you don't have the supply. So those out of this 8 hours shift, 2 hours are wasted. So I have only productive 6 hours with me. So in that 6 hours, how much I produce? And in 8 hours time, how much I produce? Definitely 8 hours will give me more production. So simply because of shortage of power, these things are happening that I am unable to produce as per the expected capacity. Moreover, what problems SSI units face? They cannot afford to have their own power generators, again because of shortage of funds. So funds short hai, I cannot enjoy economies of scale while buying in bulk quantities. Because of shortage of funds, I cannot opt for power generators. I have to face this power shutdown at a particular time, and which hampers my production. Then because of less money availability, I cannot use the latest technology, so again which hampers my production. And because of shortage of funds, you know the banks and all are also not there to help me out. The big giants or the financial institutions like ICICI and all, they usually help the bigger operators, the bigger units, but then they don't uh, supply in enough quantities, supply the we can say the finance. They don't finance to the small scale units because they are new into the business and operations wise they are also small. They don't have enough long term or short term funds available with them. Then these small scale units also face labor problems. How? Mostly the labor is unskilled. Small businesses don't have resources to provide good training, and accordingly the laborers are also not paid well. So there is no motivation for professional growth for such laborers. That is why the small businesses are incapable to bargain with powerful trade unions. See, the things are interdependent on each other. Since I have not enough funds available with me, what do? I cannot afford training these workers. Moreover, these workers are also belonging to the unskilled category, because if the skilled one comes, he demands more salary, he demands more, which I cannot afford, because i'm I belong to this small scale industries and doing it for the first time. So I am into such category, like that I cannot afford the skilled labor. So what option I have? I opt for unskilled one. Now these unskilled ones, they are ready to work with me, but then those are unskilled, and even I don't have enough funds to train them, to provide the good training facilities to these unskilled ones. Moreover, these laborers are also not paid off very well. Since I am running, or usually I have lesser funds, I try to give as less incentives to the laborers as possible. So what happens? Unskilled laborers have no backup from the professional trade unions. They are usually backing the skilled laborers only, but then those are skilled or semi-skilled. Unskilled ke liye there is no one to help, or there is no one to support. So in this way, I lose as a businessman, that I am not getting the skilled persons, and these people are also losing. These unskilled laborers are also losing, because they are being paid less. Moreover, there are no training facilities and no backup from trade unions as well. So this is also one reason the SSI units fail. Another problem is of marketing. Now, small businesses cannot face the competition uh, from the large scale units, that competition in terms of selling and marketing. They cannot afford to spend much on advertising and proper distribution of goods. Again, because of funds, if you see, all the problems are coming. Now, since I cannot have good marketing, I cannot put in good marketing efforts, I cannot have a designated unit who will be doing only marketing and selling. So I cannot face this competition which which I have from these large units. So what happens? The small scale units have to depend on middlemen, who will do something. Just maybe this middleman is the outsourced one. I tell somebody to please do it for me. So these middlemen, they to these middlemen also usually I pay less prices, because I'm running short of funds. I have no enough funds available to afford to pay the set amount by these middlemen. To them all, you also usually I pay the lesser amount, and even the recovery from these middlemen is also slow. So the one who is not fulfilling the middleman's requirement, even middlemen will be ignorant towards them. So it becomes difficult for me to recover from these middlemen also. So this is how the marketing problems I face, and this leads to the failure of my SSI unit. And then managerial skills. Only individuals or small group of people own and operate the small business units. So it is not necessary that they possess the professional managerial skills required to run the business successfully. Very we can say the self-explanatory point, because it is being managed by a single person. We cannot say that since beginning he would be very good at managerial skills, or at managing people, or managing funds, managing resources. We cannot expect that. Then comes quality. Small businesses find it difficult to come up to the global standards of the quality. Again, I'm using the I'm not using the updated technology. The machines also are not the updated ones, which is going to affect the quality, because the updated ones will be efficient enough to be at par with the global standards. But then the older technologies or the older machines will have some defect, or will have जिसको बोलते हैं wear and tear, जिसकी वजह से maintenance cost बढ़ जाता है. Moreover, they may not give me the required results. So I cannot stand in terms of quality, with at par with the with my competitors. So even quality wise also I may face difficulties, and this quality also is one important reason of small scale units getting failed. And then sickness, it is painful to see most of small units going sick. There is lack of planning. Sick matlab kya? There is lack of planning. Skilled and trained personnel is another hurdle. They have to sell on credit. Customers do not pay in time. There are large scale bad debts. All these things together make my debts go towards the higher limits. Quality is not good, so I'm not able to sell what I produce. When I'm not able to sell what I produce, it gets piled up. I have to pay the other expenses like salary and stuff like that. Maybe I have to pay to the middlemen, or I have to pay to the workers. I have to pay rent. I have to pay to the suppliers because I have taken raw material. I have taken supply of raw material from them. So such operating expenses are there. Then एक्सपेंसेस इन फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, जैसे कि मुझे लाइट बिल भरना है या फिर रेंट पे करना है, so these are also there. So if I'm unable to sell what I produce, and I have to pay these all expenses at the same time, it actually leads towards the large scale bad debts. कर्जा बढ़ जाता है. So they fail short of work. So they fall short of working capital to keep the production processes going. So my expenses are piled up, my debts are increasing. I have lesser and lesser money to take care of the production process which is going on. So what do? I go into or I am now termed as a loss making unit because I'm not generating anything out of it. Though the production is there, but then what I produce is of superior quality. And if there are no people to, there are no people to purchase the products, to buy the things from me, it gets piled up. Now, when the things are getting piled up, I'll not run my production. So first job is to sell. But then when sales are also not taking place, and at the same time the expenses are there, those expenses are like operating expenses. I have to pay rent, I have to pay tax, I have to pay salaries, like that. So the unit becomes a sick unit. This it leads to the sickness. So when units get sick, again the situation becomes difficult. So there are ways to make the unit again functional, to convert the sick unit into a functional unit, which is a long process, difficult also. Success rate is also less, but then there are other procedures to follow to convert that sickness into working. What we are learning is causes of failure of SSI units. So because of lack of funds, all these 8 to 9 different causes happen and make the SSI unit fail. But then now we know the causes. So there are measures also to overcome these problems of these small scale units. Now what these measures are? There could be technical assistance given to the small scale units. The elaborate institutional structure consisting of State Directorate of Industries, Small Industries, Service Institutes, and Small Scale Industries Development Corporation. So these are some of the organizations which we discussed just now. State Directorate of Industries, Small Industries, Service Institute, जिसको बोलते हैं SISI, Small Industries Service Institute, and Small Scale Industries Development Corporation, SIDC. They provide technical assistance to SSIs. This SISI, Small Industries Service Institute, this particular organization also arrange for training programs of entrepreneurs, managers, and workers. So where they may go wrong, Now this technical assistance is not covering our funds ka part, but it is covering the technical side of, or it is taking care of technical side of failure. So where they can go wrong in terms of managing, in terms of managing production, in terms of managing the plant. So such technical assistance can be given by the set three organizations. Hmm? So, and out of these three, SISI also arranges training program for entrepreneurs, managers, and for workers also to improve. Then there are physical facilities. Now, training, technical assistance is given. Then physical facilities in that is related in case of the plant, the physical structure. So what facilities are given, or assistance in what form is now given? There is something called as industrial estate. Now what it is? An industrial estate program has been in operation since 1955. This industrial estate program is there in Indian economy since 55. After independence, immediately after independence, some after 5 to 6 years, this thing came into existence. What it is, what an industrial estate is, it is a planned clustering of industrial enterprises offering standard factory buildings erected in advance of demand. So this industrial estate offers all infrastructure facilities like shed, water, power, communication, transport, etc. So those who want to start their venture, the manufacturing venture, they can opt for such industrial estates. If you see the cartons of the food packets, those small munching items, if you see, and if they are usually they are manufactured locally. So if you carefully observe, the manufacturing usually takes place in such industrial estates. Now if we take the example of Pune and nearby location, it would be Wagholi or uh, maybe that Sutarwadi or something. I don't remember, I don't know where this area usually actually comes. But then at such smaller places, such industrial estates are there. Usually they are in the villages, far away from the city, because simple reason is city does not have or does not give them the economies of scale, we can say. So space is not available. They have to maybe pay more taxes and all just in case of place. So usually these industrial estates are located at a far away place from the city or town, we can say. Usually it is in villages or such areas, remote areas. So these industrial estates, they provide all the necessary infrastructural facilities like shed, water, power, communication, transport, etc. They were established to encourage the industrial estates. Motto kya tha? What was the reason behind establishing the industrial estates? To encourage the growth of small scale industries, to shift small business units from congested areas to the estate premises to increase their productivity. Now, usually it happens that the particular area is overcrowded, congestion ho jata hai. Many industries or many such units are there. So uh, to then when the area is congested, the facilities and all are shared. So everybody does not enjoy the facilities up to the mark. Maybe actually this leads to shutdown, power shutdown, or some things like that. Maybe you will have a water supply maybe 4 times in a week or 5 times in a week, 2 days alternate water supply and all because of congestion. So to avoid such things, the industrial estates were being formulated. So physical facilities made, this is one assistance which can be given to small scale units. They are motivated to start their units in these industrial estates. As I said, industrial estates are offering the infrastructural facilities to the units, and those facilities are like water, power and communication, transport, etc. Then comes physical facility mein, first was industrial estate, second one is supply of raw material. The scarce raw material are distributed through an allocation system. In order to ensure the availability of scarce raw material to small industries, state small scale industries corporation have been entrusted with the responsibility of distribution of these material through the distribution centers located in different parts of each state. Now what happens? As I said, the large units and small scale units, operations wise, uh, there is no such difference. There would be Lays who would be manufacturing chips, and there would be, let's say, Welcome Wafers who also would be manufacturing chips. The only difference is in terms of the scale of operations which take place, the branding and other distribution and all. So Lays being an MNC, they have all the world-class manufacturing facilities present while manufacturing such food and beverages. Other things are also there. But when a small company like Welcome, who is manufacturing chips, they are only involved in manufacturing of chips. They are not marketing or manufacturing any other item than chips. So what happens in such scenario? They would be requiring the small as well as the bigger organizations, bigger manufacturing plants. They would require a raw material which goes into the manufacturing, but then that raw material is not available easily. So we term that raw material as scarce. Now these giants are in a position to purchase it because for them money is not the matter. So what will happen? Should small scale units not make use of such material while production? It's not like that as well. So what happens? There are industries or there are organizations, or the efforts are being uh, taken by the government. So they have a unit called as State Small Scale Industries Corporation. Now this unit has been entrusted with the responsibility of distribution of such scarce material through their distribution centers. So the giants or the large organizations, for them purchasing is not an issue. But then the small scale manufacturers, small scale units, when they are unable to purchase, so they can contact such state small scale industries corporation for supplying the scarce raw material. So for these SSI units, the scarce material is made available through these state small scale industries corporation. Is the point clear? The supply of raw material, the giants can afford, they can purchase it, but then small scale industries are unable to do so. Government is supporting them via making these scarce raw material available through state small scale industries corporations designated distribution centers, which are located in different parts of each state. So technical assistance we have seen. Then the assistance in terms of uh, we can say assistance in terms of physical facilities by way of providing industrial estates, by setting up the distribution centers who will only supply the scarce raw material to these small scale units, is what we have seen till now. Now the third type of help which is being provided to save the SSIs from getting failed is providing the marketing assistance. Assistance provided by government in these areas, in this area of marketing the products in following forms. Now this marketing assistance in what form is being provided by the government is now we are going to see. So exclusive purchase of specific products of SSI from government. SSI manufactures few of the products which SSI manufactures. Specific products out of what SSI manufactures are exclusively purchased by government. Hmm. Then price preference to small scale enterprises in public sector purchases. Usually the price preference is given to the small scale enterprises while public sector purchases, and assisting this sale of small enterprises products through state owned cooperatives. Example of this could be Apna Bazaar, or such cooperative or cooperative departmental stores are there. Now these cooperative departmental stores are usually owned by the state cooperatives. Now these are the cooperative stores involved in purchasing the products exclusively manufactured by these small enterprises. So such state owned cooperatives may you will find the products which are manufactured by SSI units only. So these are, so this way the marketing assistance is given. Then there is this fiscal incentives. Both the central and state government has provided number of fiscal incentives for the growth of SSI units, like they can enjoy, the small scale industries can enjoy tax holidays for new industrial undertaking. Maybe for first 2 years or 3 years, they don't have to pay tax, or maybe there would be 50% of the tax only which they have to pay. So these are called as tax holidays. It depends which scheme you are opting for, and which state, under which state you are running your SSI units. More or less the incentives are similar, but then little difference would be there. Then capital subsidy to industries in backward areas. Those who set up industries in backward areas, they may enjoy the capital subsidy. Whatever capital you require to start your business, you are getting it at subsidized rate. Maybe the loan, usually, if I have to start a manufacturing unit in semi-urban or let's say urban area, maybe the loan on that capital, seed capital, the loan interest rate would be let's say 10%. And if I start it in backward areas, then it would be let's say 6% or 7%, like that. So this capital subsidy can also be given. Then excise duty exemption. Whatever excise duty SSI units they have to pay, they would be exempted. They would not have to pay, or maybe some part, some concession would be given. Price preference of 15% over large industries. So preference in terms of prices will be given to the SSI units up to 15% as compared to the large industries. So again, it's a kind of, we can say, fiscal incentive which is being offered for growth of SSI. So these are some of the measures. Again, financial assistance, as we have seen, the commercial banks are there who provide the medium or short-term loan, and loan to meet the working capital. So such commercial banks are providing the capital, or providing or making the money available at a reduced interest rate. Just have to uh, follow the procedure of opting for the loan or the capital, seed capital, and it will be disbursed at reduced rate. So there are many such financial assistance which is being offered by state as well as central government. Specific banks like NABARD, SIDBI, SISI, SIDO, these are being set up who assist such small scale units in many ways possible. So we are stopping here the today's session. We have seen the SSI units we have completed, failure causes which make the SSI units fail, and what preventive measures are there. So only turnaround strategy and few of the points are remaining from this fourth unit, and then we'll begin with maybe tomorrow we'll complete the fourth unit, or not tomorrow, Monday we'll finish with the fourth unit, and Tuesday onwards we'll begin with the last unit. Though it's a big unit, and it covers the we can say the not difficult but important part of entrepreneurship development, and that is business plan. But things are simple, only we have to remember the steps what are there to follow in business plan. So we'll end our session here today. We'll meet on Wednesday. In case you have any doubt, let me know. And have a good weekend and a safe weekend too. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you so much.